Would you look at the time? It is time for another video. Good day to you, my fellow adventurers throughout time and space. It is I, the Cowardly Time Lord, welcoming you to a comparison Lego review. As you can see, I got these two sets to compare. These two and the Phantom technically counts as well as part of this. You get what I'm doing, I'm sure. Anyways, let's first start off with the Yoda's Jedi Starfighters. Well, right off the bat, I'll show you the backs of the Yoda and R2-D2 in the new one. Now, I'm firmly of the belief that Yoda's Jedi Starfighter is a set that did not need a remake. I will also say I think the new version is 98% better than the old version. But I do think that the older Yoda figure has a nicer detail of the printing inside the hood than the new one. Well, ignore the fact that some of them have chrome lightsaber hilts and stuff and custom bits. These, of course, elder figures, I have done that all. Set all that up. Now, it's interesting that I am pointing out the back details. Obviously, the new R2-D2 with the back detailing is nice, and I'm happy that this is starting to become the standard R2-D2 that appears in sets. I have no complaints on that. However, I do have a complaint about the back of the Starfighter. But you look at that, the older version has more engine detailing that the new version doesn't. I find that odd. But other than that, I think the new version of the Starfighter is so much better. Just in every conceivable way. Well, okay, I suppose is one of the problem. The fact that the opening at the front can't open all the way because of the blaster cannons on the new model compared to the old model. But I think, as much as I disagree with the need for Yoda's Jedi Starfighter getting the remake, the new one has a lot of nice details that the old one didn't, and I think the piece usage was more easy on the new model. I don't like all the use of the Technic to hold the wings in place on the old one, as you can see. But, yes, as much as I am one that would say that was a very unneeded set remake, the new one's good, and I just fired the spring-loaded launcher accidentally at the camera. That was, I think, at least you would have seen it, because I wasn't really looking at where my camera was pointing. Anyways, on to the ghosts and the various versions of the Phantom. Oh yeah, that was another issue I found while building the new one. The spring-loaded launcher seemed very, very finicky, like particularly finicky, and I have no idea why. Okay, on to the different versions of the Phantom. Let's start off with that. Now, only two of these Phantoms I will say are their own. Well, only two of the Phantoms are their own, set. But let's go over the figure selection that kind of makes sense the most for them. Also, yes, ignore the fact that my Ezra Bridger has a very custom lightsaber. Done by an old friend from the Lego Amino. Of course, if you recognize that custom hilt design for Ezra Bridger, you're an oldie on the Lego Amino by now. Anyways, this version of the Phantom has no room for Chopper. Sure, you can take off Chopper's head and place it on there, which I assume is why it's open like that with those bits there. Interior of this version of the Ghost, not really room for anything. The opening at the back, equally as pathetic. It's way, way undersized, this version of the Phantom. And as it is the most undersized version, I have to say I think it is the worst version of the Phantom. And I also do think that the Ghost it comes in is slightly poorer than the old one in certain aspects that we'll get into once I get to those things. And I just think that this build overall is not particularly good. And it's very... I forgot that the... Hold on. Anyways, yes. I forgot that you were supposed to push it up like that to open up to get to the inside. I don't think the inside is really big enough to support even like a basic sized figure. It's designed specifically for the child size figure, which again I could complain about how inaccurate the what is his name again? I don't remember. Jason Sandula is, how inaccurate his figure is, just because of the hair. I eventually plan on ordering an extra hair piece to make it slightly more accurate, as close to it as possible. And I actually really like the new Chopper figure. Back printing is nice. And just overall, it's actually kind of funny when I was building it, because I'm so unused to having them back printing. I put his head on backwards. Kind of ironic, but yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, I do not like this very miniaturized version of the Phantom, and far too many stickers. Of course, I could complain about that with pretty much any set these days, but I just didn't find this little tiny mini Phantom very enjoyable, especially considering I already think that the downsized version of what it's supposed to be from the set where it was just the Phantom 2 is not very great. In fact, let's move right into that, shall we? The Phantom 2. Well, it's just it's just known as the Phantom, but okay. The legs are not being cooperative, so you'll have to deal with the fact that it's leaning. Of course, it comes with Blind Kanan Jarrus, Chopper, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. Yes, I have the extra gold epaulets, because that is how you make it Grand Admiral Thrawn. It just doesn't look right without his golden epaulets. Oh, yes. The Blind Kanan Jarrus figure, very cool. Very nice detailing on the eyes to represent the fact that he is in fact supposed to be blind. Interesting note, I did not watch the Rebels TV show until many years after the fact. And so I absolutely had no idea who Kanan Jarrus was. I bought the set purely because of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Because, of course, I am a Star Wars fan, and I knew the name. Anyways, so the back opening on this one, bit better, but still not big enough for an actual minifigure to go through if I can get it open with only one hand. And then, of course, those moving that yellow bit back and forth would be how you fire the spring-loaded launchers on this set. There's a little crate with Imperial logos on it inside the back hatch, the cockpit area, and then there's the fact that pausing again, that the cockpit itself detaches from the rest of the build, a common feature in many Star Wars Lego sets, including the other version of the Phantom, which is actually the Phantom 1. These two are both representing the Phantom 2. And, like, look at the sticker detailing. And I know it's because, well, one's a smaller sticker, but look at the detailing on that sticker. That's amazing. That one, not so much. And I just think, wow, they severely downsized this. And the fact that it's supposed to be a Separatist Clone Wars shuttle, how much that's already downsized from the Separatist Clone Wars shuttle that we got as an actual set years and years ago. This is just incredibly downsized. And I know they had to make it fit in with the Ghost and stuff, but they made this version of the Phantom, which is such a better set, fit in with the older version of the Ghost. And this version of the Phantom and that version of the Ghost have a lower combined piece total than the new version of the Ghost and Phantom 2. So I think I'm well within my rights to offer complaint. So, this is the only version LEGO has made of the Phantom 1, which I think was far better than the Phantom 2, but that's my opinion. Very much more uniquely designed. Like I said, the cockpit will detach. You could take the roof off to find a place to put Chopper in it, which again, at least is better than the new version of the Phantom that doesn't even have a place for Chopper, really. And then, of course, inside there is the helmet. I keep the helmet inside the Phantom. This extraordinary rare helmet that really wish would return in more LEGO sets. We could get a nice Imperial base with some cadets. Get more cadet helmets. I think that'd be brilliant. Anyways. So, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. We've already seen Chopper. The Ezra Bridger figure, again, not exactly the most accurate in terms of hair color, but I say the new Ghost set with Jason Syndulla is far more egregious about wrong hair color choices. It reminds me about how the fact that in the original version of the Ghost, there was the early release that had Kanan Jarrus with the wrong hair color. He originally had black hair. I do not have that extraordinarily rare minifigure, nor do I intend to hunt him down. But, anyways, yes, now let's get on to the old version of the Ghost that had Kanan Jarrus, Harrison Dula, Zeb Aurelios, and a Stormtrooper. Stormtrooper, whatever, pretty classic. The Rebels design was a pretty good design for the Stormtrooper minifigures, all things considered. So, yeah, I would say it is a pretty good, it's a pretty alright figure, but of course there are a lot cheaper sets at the time, and a lot cheaper sets that you can buy secondhand now that come with this Stormtrooper variant, so it's not really what's important. Now, Kanan did appear in other sets, of course. So yeah, he's not the rarest figure of the bunch, but it's quite nice design, got a good look to him. Nothing to complain about in terms of him as a figure. Then we have Harrison Dula. Again, another great figure for the time. Well designed. I would say it actually looks a bit better compared to the modern counterpart, but maybe that's just me. Only detail about the modern counterpart that's really cool is the little general patch of the throat lozenge looking things. But yeah, overall another great addition to But of course, the old version of Harrison Dula also came in a Ghost Microfighter. So, yeah. But then, of course, the one truly, absolutely unique figure to this version of the Ghost, Garazeb Aurelios. And I think he's a brilliant figure. No cracks in my version at all yet. Impressive. Very nice design. Figure. Very unique alien head. Lovely printing. Now, let's get on to the actual set. And I have a funny story to tell you. I built this set, and you might notice something right now. Some people who are far more detailed would be like, that's the wrong piece color there. You would be correct, because I had to get a replacement part. Because of the fact that when I originally built this version of the Ghost, it was missing the piece that you connected all of this to slide in to be the front bubble of the ship. My variant was missing that piece and came with two pieces that were nowhere in the instruction booklet. Two long white pieces. Super weird, never figured it out. Whatever. It happens, I'm sure. To more than just me. So yeah. That already there makes this Ghost have an interesting memory for me. The cockpit areas are lovely. Very open. Connect to each other nicely. Plenty of room for figures on the interior. The turret spins. Absolutely nice detail. These panels open up to reveal weapon storage. And I'm sorry that this set is showing its age in some places. Yeah. Sadly sunlight damaged and very, very dusty. But I think this set is still a lot nicer. And of course it's got these big escape pods. Come on. Oh, shoot. Okay, pausing again. So again, I have no idea how accurate this is, but I love the details when the little things on the side of ships popped off and were like little escape pods. So I have absolutely no complaints there, and I know that these parts weren't escape pods, they were the connecting tubes for other ships to dock with the Ghost. But for a play feature on a model toy for kids, I think this is a brilliant play feature. And who can forget the old Lego Star Wars ads with "Launch the escape pods and prepare for battle." Very classic. Again, in the whole docking area for the Phantom, actually has even little doors on the back of the model. Nice little detail, I think. And like I said, the turret spins. Now, let's move on to the new model. I'll go through the last figures, which is First Officer Hawkins and Lieutenant Beta. Anyways, with those figures out of the way, which I will say it's always good to have another Mon Calamari and just another random Rebellion / New Republic now officer. And now let's get on to the new version of the Ghost, which I'll start off by saying has lovely engine designs. I love the engine pieces, how they look. Love it. Love the detailing around the outside. Some very nice stuff. Again, kind of feel lacking with these doors. The cockpit opens up and uses a Inquisitor lightsaber piece as the area where you put a figure in. How is it that this part comes out again? Ow! I've just been shot with one of the spring-loaded launchers. Because that's right. How does it work? Right, the front gun. You turn the front gun either direction to fire off the spring-loaded launchers. I will not be experimenting with that again, as it just shot off and hit me. Again, that's another thing. I find the new spring-loaded launchers are a little too sensitive. Sure, there's a way to put the figure inside the main bubble turret, and of course there's the main cockpit area, and then the whole roof comes off, which is an interesting detail. Of course, no spinning of the main gun now. Kinda makes it pointless, but again, willing to just leave it as what Lego did. Actually, I do love one part of the interior where it's actually like a little sink area and a little, I guess, wash basin. I don't know. Laundry basket. That's more what it appeared to be while building. Interesting choice. And there's absolutely nothing else on the interior to make it worth it. But I'm sure some people really enjoy having this open interior with nothing in it. Brick film people, I'm sure. There's some that are really excited to do things where it's inside the ghost. Yeah, I'm running out of positives to say on this set. But I will say... Oh, that doesn't seem right. This just fell off. Well, I'll have to put that back on. That's how. It slides out. So you can put a figure in there. So it definitely was not supposed to break off like that. So I guess that sort of makes me have to say that the new version of the Ghost is a bit more unstable, breakable mess. I just think that almost everything about the older model has a one-up on this new model. Almost. Like I said, the engines and the fact that there's an interior, those are good factors. Everything else just feels like it really fell apart for this model. But hey, you come to this place for honest opinions on Lego reviews. So I give them. And, I didn't really show this, but yeah, you take out the turret on the old one, then you take off the top of the turret, put a figure in there. You can also do it with this model. So you can see there's a little area for a figure to sit down inside there. What I would really love to see at some point from Lego is a UCS model of the Ghost, with a proper scaled version of the Phantom attached at the back. I think that would be an awesome set. And make it so that it comes with alternate versions for both the Phantom and the Phantom 2. That would be an awesome set. I know Lego will never do it because it would be a UCS set based off of an animated show and now live action, but especially with the way Disney Star Wars is going, I don't see that happening. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. So anyways, this looks like a good place to end off for today's video. So this is the Cowardly Time Lord signing off and saying, have a good day, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Bye-bye now.